I asked a doctor, what happens if you stop eating sugar? The answer may shock you. I'm going to share with you the conversation that I had with an actual doctor about sugar, so pay close attention. What is the first thing that you think of when you hear the word sugar? I think of sweetness, like in ice cream or candy. But for doctors, they're trained to look at sugar from a different lens, one that we aren't aware of when it comes to our health. And this is why I decided to interview my doctor, because I want to be more in tune with how food affects my body. When we think of sugar, we're thinking of glucose, which is the main source of fuel for our cells. When we eat carbohydrates, our body breaks them down into glucose, which is then absorbed into our bloodstream and raises our blood sugar levels. Now, this is where insulin comes in, because insulin is released from the pancreas to help move the sugar or the glucose out of the bloodstream and into the cells. Once inside the cells, the glucose can now be used for energy. So here's where things get interesting. A lot of us consume way too many carbohydrates, which means there's an excess amount of glucose circulating in our blood. And when this happens, the body becomes less sensitive to insulin, meaning that the cells don't open up as easily to allow the glucose to go inside. This is known as insulin resistance, and guess what? It is at the heart of most health problems, including being overweight. If your cells aren't opening up properly and accepting the glucose, then what happens? Well, the glucose starts to build up in the bloodstream. So the pancreas releases even more insulin to try to force the cells to open up. But this doesn't work. So what does the body do next? It starts to store the excess glucose as fat. Now, when the fat cells become saturated, they start to enlarge and push against the skin, causing cellulite. And this is also when the liver becomes overloaded with this excess glucose and starts turning it into fat. And guess where this fat gets stored? Around your organs, which is known as visceral fat. So this is how consuming too much sugar over time causes you to gain weight and how it affects your health. The question is, what happens if you stop eating sugar? Well, this is what I asked my doctor, me. I stopped eating carbs and sugar. So I was just wondering, how long will it take before my body returns to normal? How long will it take before my blood sugars are back to normal? What happens to my body after I stop eating sugar? Doctor, the amount of time that it takes for your body to return to normal after stopping eating sugar depends on many factors, including how long you ate sugar, how much sugar you ate daily, and how physically active you were while consuming all this sugar. For example, how active you are plays a role, because when you exercise, your muscles absorb the glucose directly from your blood, reducing the amount of sugar in your bloodstream. That makes sense, but when I stopped eating sugar, I didn't start exercising more. In fact, I exercised less. Doctor, Well, when you stop eating sugar, you'll notice a reduction in hunger because you're no longer consuming the empty calories from the carbs and sugar. This will naturally lead to eating less food overall. And depending on how active you are, you'll lose weight and your BMI will improve. You'll also see a reduction in inflammation throughout your body because sugar is a pro-inflammatory molecule, meaning that it causes inflammation. When you remove sugar, your body will begin to heal and inflammation will go down. You'll also sleep better because sugar can interfere with certain sleep hormones like melatonin. Yes, this is true. I wasn't sleeping well before I cut out sugar. But since I started this journey, my sleep has improved dramatically. Doctor, another benefit of stopping eating sugar is that you'll have increased mental clarity and focus. This is because sugar causes blood sugar spikes and crash, which can affect your brain function. And studies have shown that consuming sugar can impair cognitive performance and increase the risk of depression. This is very true. I couldn't concentrate or focus when I ate sugar. My mind was always foggy, and this is why I'm doing this. I want to feel good so I can perform at my best in life. Doctor, good point. So by removing sugar, you'll not only improve your physical health, but also your mental health and well-being. Me, that's great, but I remember you said that it depends on many factors. What are the other factors? What else affects how quickly my body will return to normal? Doctor, well, genetics plays a role because some people are genetically predisposed to developing insulin resistance and becoming overweight. This is why some people can eat a lot of sugar and carbs and appear to get away with it, while others who eat the same diet struggle with their weight and health. It's also important to consider your gut microbiome because the trillions of bacteria that make their home in your gut have a significant impact on how your body processes food. And studies have found that people with a healthy gut microbiome are better at metabolizing carbohydrates compared to those with an unhealthy gut microbiome. Me. Wow, so if I want to speed up the process of my body returning to normal, what can I do? Doctor, focusing on improving insulin sensitivity can greatly speed up this process. This can be achieved by engaging in regular physical activity and consuming a balanced diet rich in fiber, healthy fats, and protein. These foods can help regulate blood sugar levels and reduce inflammation. Me. Excellent. Thank you for sharing this with me. This is just one of many conversations that I've had with my doctor. I highly recommend that you have these types of conversations with your own doctors. You may learn something that you didn't know before. By the way, did you know that quitting sugar is one of the best anti-aging strategies that you can adopt? This is because high blood sugar levels can accelerate the aging process and contribute to the development of age-related diseases. By reducing your sugar intake, you can help protect against age-related diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and cognitive decline, allowing you to enjoy your golden years in better health and well-being. Plus, cutting out sugar can also help improve your skin health, giving you a more youthful and radiant appearance. One of the best ways to achieve this is by following a low-carb diet such as the ketogenic diet. Keto is an eating plan that has helped millions of people around the world reverse chronic conditions like diabetes, autoimmune disorders, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, among many others. Keto is a way of eating that consists of consuming very few carbs, moderate amounts of protein, and high amounts of healthy fats. There's a growing body of scientific evidence showing that ketogenic diet improves blood sugar control, reduces inflammation, and promotes weight loss. All of this can help slow down the aging process and improve overall health. If you're new here, check out the playlist for beginners. We have over 200 videos on all things keto and low carb. Don't forget to subscribe.